Alright, day 16. Why am I not losing weight? Okay, so I want to explain a little bit about weight here. Okay, so firstly, we need to understand that when it comes to weight, right, our body is made up of, firstly, lean mass, right, which includes things like our bones, things like muscles, things like even water, the water content in our body, right, and all the way, to the other extreme, we have fat mass, which just basically is, stored body fat, right? So when it comes to weight, we really want to make sure that the numbers that we're looking at actually make sense. And a couple of ways that we do this, right? Because weight loss does not equal fat loss, right? So when it comes to tracking your progress, I don't want an over fixation of, weight. Yes, we want to see the scale trend in the correct direction, but there are a lot of other things that, that we're going to use to track the progress. So firstly, actually body measurements, right? So you would have known by now that, you need to take measurements at least every 2 weeks, right? So a couple of key areas, your waist, your hips, all those actually are much better depictors of your fat storage and, how much fat you have on your body compared to weight, right? Where there isn't really, an explanation of how much fat mass and lean mass you have, right? And the other thing would be progress photos. So honestly, a lot of times when you look at progress photos, you can see the changes much more drastically than you can, especially if you're going through a recomposition phase and, you're gaining fat, gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. You can't, that's masked on the scale. So that's why progress photos are also very important. And the next thing would be your progress in the gym, because that's going to be a key indicator of, your improvements in strength, your improvements in hypertrophy, or, whether you're building muscle or not. So just keep that in mind. And when it comes to day-to-day fluctuations, right, realize that there are going to be so many different things that are going to impact your scale fluctuation on a daily basis. So firstly, maybe the amount of food in your gut, maybe you didn't go to the toilet this morning, the amount of water that you drank, the amount of coffee or caffeine that you had, the amount of alcohol that you had, maybe you ate out and there's, you ate saltier foods, right? So a higher amount of sodium in your foods is going to cause you to retain a bit more water. So there's so many different variables. Even maybe being in your period, that also can affect, your weight, right? So there's so many different things that can affect your weight that we want to really look at, again, the trend, the pattern of your weight. And that's why it's so important that you weigh yourself daily. Okay, so every single day in the morning, after you poop and pee naked on the scale. That is the, what I want you to do and practice every single day. If you, log your weight every single day into your tracker, it will throw out the weekly number, which is way more accurate to look at than just a daily number. If you want to even zoom out a bit further, even a monthly trend is going to be much more accurate than even a weekly trend, okay? So again, realize that, there's no need to fixate on the weight. It is honestly not something that is within our control. What we really want to do is to control the controllables, right? And what the controllables are, it's your nutrition, it's your training, it's your daily movement, it's your sleep, stress, all these different things, right? Control that and, the weight is going to trend in the direction that you want it to. All right? So hopefully this clears this up and we can move away from scale weight fear and move forward.